Well, hello. It's a bit different this time because, as you can see, I'm having a little walkaroo in the sun. Today it's supposed to be the hottest day in the UK, 32 degrees. It is feeling glorious, although I have to be careful because I will burn to a crisp if I don't keep applying my sunscreen. I wanted to talk about something that I'm sure you understand, how to best feel comfortable when you're in the sun or in summer season and you have dermatillomania. It's really tricky. Another thing that's quite tricky is an airplane going past in this video. But anyway, I digress. So I'm going to just kind of quickly talk about the topics that help me when it's really, really hot and I can't avoid it. If I was to say, like, if last year I heard that I was going to be able to walk around in a dress that shows my arms, my shoulders, my chest, my back, I would seriously think that was fake news. And if I would also not believe that I'd be okay to just kind of casually make videos and talk about things in the street with people going past. But honestly, I don't really care. So I'll go straight into it. What I do is to kind of prepare my body and prepare myself emotionally and mentally for going out in the sun is I start off with a non-irritating or comedogenic body wash. So I use when I'm in the shower. I want to go for something that really helps my skin, also kind of gets me in a really nice mood. I've been using one from the Rituals, and it's a Rituals foaming body wash, and usually foaming cleansers and whatnot can be very drying on the skin. However, this one isn't, and the foaming collection that they do are really, really lovely. They keep the skin feeling really soft after, but the smells are amazing. They use gorgeous natural ingredients. I've been using, I think it's the one like the Ritual of Sakura. It smells glorious. It smells so nice, and it really creates more of an experience when you're in the shower because it smells so nice, and how it makes your skin feel. It makes you feel like you're having more of an experience, and that's kind of, as I'm getting older, the consumer of myself, I'm starting to notice that, where I'm no longer wanting to purchase products that are just a trend or they look nice like in their packaging. I want it to be more of an experience for me. I want to know that they include ingredients that really work for my skin, which takes me on to my next point. After when I have a shower and I use these things, I love like sweet almond oil. I think my skin absolutely loves it. So things like that I know aren't going to irritate or create pimples and spots, because I have reactive skin, by the way. I look for that in my body cream. So after I've showered, I use which one am I using at the moment? I'm in love with it. It's again the Rituals, and it's the Rituals of Ayurveda. It's like a dark red pot, and you can buy refills, which I love. I love that the brand is being more friendly in terms of like their use of plastic, trying to limit things, and to be able to use to purchase refills. So I think I'm on my second refill with my tub of the Rituals of Ayurveda. It smelled like something I've never smelled before. When I use it, when I put it on my skin, it takes me into this lovely spiritual place. I feel like I smell amazing, and so much so that I had to buy the pump hand balm to have at my work, at my desk, so that I can just keep smelling that gorgeous smell. I think it has like Indian rose and honey, it has sunflower oil, does it have almond oil in it as well? I'll have a little look, but what I do know, it doesn't have those plant oils that my skin reacts to, which is the main thing, because I always kind of, if I can, avoid shea butter, coconut oil, ones that I know that my skin are going to react to, because I just think, well, the inevitable is going to happen, like I will come out in spots if I use these things. So I'm definitely mindful of that in the body cream that I use. Another one is to also be mindful of the things that you're putting in your hair. So like hair masks, for example, the same applies. I did a little test the other day with this new hair mask that I really wanted to try. It smelled amazing. I was like, oh my god. But I saw in the ingredients, one of the ingredients was shea butter. Now, products can be deceiving. They can say, oh, shea butter, like this one, I use the Garnier fruits one, 98% natural. It was banana and shea, and I'm pretty sure the shea wasn't actually that high in the ingredients list. A lot of it can be fragrance that they've added, and that makes you think like, wow, they've really got loads of this in it, when in fact usually they don't. But I did want to see if my skin would break out by using it. Turned out it did. It didn't so much on my face, but it did on my shoulders and a bit of my neck. So I knew that. I was like, oh, okay, when I use this, I have to make sure that it doesn't contact my skin. So maybe I have to wear a t-shirt, or maybe I just have to like wash my hair and wash it out in the sink, stuff like that. But just to mention it, because we forget what we put into our hair can touch our skin and can make it react if you have reactive skin like me. So once you've showered and you put on some amazing body cream that makes you feel good, makes you like really, really just want to smell your skin all the time, and then I would go straight to SPF. Make sure you've got a good sun protection that doesn't clog the pores. I'm currently using the G9 Milk and Sun G9 Skin, and I love it. I think it goes on like a dream. It's so silky and it just leaves my skin feeling really dewy, which is what I like. There's no white cast, and I know that I'm protected. Like, I know by wearing this all day I'm not going to get burnt, because I never have got burnt when I've worn it every day. So I feel protected, which is really good. You know, you don't want to burn your scars, especially if you've got like pigmentation. You definitely don't want to aggravate that even more. So that's something that, you know, you have to be mindful of. Make sure you are applying a sunscreen that is giving you really high protection, but it's not clogging your pores, it's not going to make you break out, because trust me, a lot of them have, for me anyway. Then you can, you know, if you wanted to put like a highlighter under your sun protection, because the sun protection really should be the last step, it may be that you want to put a couple drops of highlighter, maybe like along your collarbone or on your shoulder, just to kind of give that dewy look. Someone's just left some random ladders, okay. But whatever kind of makes you feel quite good. I know a lot of it is not just like physical, like you also are kind of scared in case somebody asks you. So if somebody was to ask me, how I would say it would be, oh yeah, it's my dermatillomania. And then it's up to them to ask again if they want to ask. It's kind of not the British way to prod and want to know loads and loads of information. So I think if I was to say that here, I wouldn't get a lot of, oh, what's that? But if I did, then I'd say, oh, it's an obsessive compulsive skinpicking disorder. You can also say, apparently it affects 1 in 25 people. Just kind of really keep it like casual, keep it upbeat, so it's not awkward. And you know, if somebody wants to talk about it, fair enough, you could talk about it if you wanted. If you didn't want to talk about it, you could always just say something like, oh yeah, like I can give you some more information about it at a later date, whatever, and then change the subject. Like, the ball's in your court. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. So that's kind of how I do it. Bearing in mind, like, the more I talk about dermatillomania to others, the more I realise, like, there are people around me that have it. Crazy, like friends, family, work colleagues. Like, there's people in my life that I did not know had it until I talked about my experience. So don't feel afraid to talk about it. It's not, we sometimes forget that, like, we're so consumed in how we look and how we feel, not in a narcissistic way, but because it really affects us. We forget that, like, other people are probably in the same boat. Not so much so that, like, they are, you know, thinking about how we look and stuff, but they're thinking about themselves. A lot of people are like really, really insecure or focusing on themselves and how they're coming across. So much so that, like, we forget they're not really going to be that bothered about our skin or how we look. They just want us, you know, if they love us and they care for us, they just want us to have a good time. They just want to know that we're okay. And that, you know, if we were like avoiding going to events or we were like backing out last minute, they just want to know, like, is everything all right? Because they may be thinking, like, is this something I've done, kind of thing, you know? So don't feel afraid. Don't feel afraid to have a good time this season, because I know that this is the hardest season for us. Life is too short to be wearing extra layers and having such an uncomfortable time, or, you know, avoiding going to things that you really, really want to go to, backing out last minute. I know that when you're feeling anxious, things can be feeling good if we know that we're going to go to, say, like the beach or a water park, and then last minute we've picked because we've actually become very anxious. We know that it's nearly time where we've got to go, and we're freaking out, and then we pick, and then we're like, shit, well, now I really can't go because I've done this. just take the pressure off, okay? Like, there's no pressure. The only pressure that is there is the one that you're putting onto yourself. So, you know, if you don't want to go somewhere, you absolutely don't have to go. It's called being an adult. We can make decisions for ourselves. We're not kids. So, you know, don't be afraid to say, I don't want to do this, or I want to do that, because you can. And you're right. It's all about like us being people pleasers for so long. We feel like we're letting everyone down if we don't do what they want to do, but really we're not. But what it comes down to is that we're letting ourselves down. It's the only one that we're letting down in this whole process. We're letting ourselves down by doing everything that everyone else wants to do when we don't want to do it, when we actually would rather do what we want to do. So I hope you take it easy this season. I hope you manage to take some time out to do whatever you want to do. I hope you feel comfortable enough to show a little bit of skin. You can gradually do it. That's what I did. Gradually showed a little bit more skin. Even if you wanted to put a little bit of concealer on some areas, if you felt that made you feel more comfortable, then do that. Eventually, like, maybe use less and less. You may find, the more you're out and you're showing your skin and people aren't really mentioning things, like, because in our minds it's all so much worse than it actually is. You probably think that as soon as you go out that everyone's going to stop you and be like, what the hell? But it's not the case. It's absolutely not the case. So yeah, just 2 little tests. Just kind of push yourself out of that comfort zone a little bit more and more. Don't feel like you have to completely do something that makes you feel uncomfortable, because you may end up picking beforehand to stop yourself from doing it. Sabotage, we're pretty good at that. So yeah, the key is little and often doing little things that make yourself feel a bit more comfortable being out and showing skin in the sun. How it makes you feel after, because you probably feel a little bit, sense of achievement, a bit satisfied, which you deserve to feel. And as long as you use products that help your skin, that make your skin, not burn or break out or get all red and blotchy, whatever, then you should be good. But take your time in finding out a personal beauty regime that is not about trends or because it looks nice or because your favorite influencers using it, whatever. Get it because you love it, because it means something to you. When you put it on, you really feel good. That's the key thing for me, was taking the time to realize what my skin likes, what my skin doesn't like, and working with it so that when summertime comes around, I can enjoy it and I don't have to focus on my skin. And it really is the first summer that I'm not focusing as much as before on my skin, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I hope these make sense, and let me know. Have a great day.